What is up, GDQ? Let's go. Okay. As Joe mentioned, this is my first run. I'm super nervous, but we're all going to have fun together. My name's Radicoon. You can call me Rad, and I'm running Tunic, which is an isometric action adventure about a tiny fox in a big world where you explore the wilderness, fight monsters, and find secrets. I'll be running any %, which is new game to credits, and we'll be running unrestricted, which is any glitches allowed. I can do anything I want to get to those credits. Helping me on commentary today are two lovely gentlemen, the first of which is a fellow Tunic speedrunner, creator of the Tunic randomizer, which just got accepted to Archipelago a few days ago, Silent Destroyer. Silent?
What's up? I'm Silent. Happy to be here.
Thank you, Silent. And a man whose reputation precedes him, the audio director of Tunic, the creative director of Power Up Audio, and the developer of Phonopath, Mr. Kevin Regamey. Kevin?
Yeah, Phonopath's the big one for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, this game has glitches, you said?
Yeah, just a few. They're not too bad.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, we got a fox on the couch back there. Skippy, thank you for helping us with this run. And yeah, let me tell you a little bit about Tunic. So it's a bit of an amalgamation of the action-adventure of Zelda, the combat and tropes of Dark Souls, and the puzzle-solving of Fez. But there's one really innovative and unique mechanic in Tunic, and that's the manual. So spread throughout the game are pages of an NES-style manual that you pick up as a player. You can't read it, but you can draw context from it. You can learn about the game's mechanics, and you can make progress by doing that. Now, sadly, we're not going to pick up any of those pages in this run because we already played the game. We already know what to do, and you're going to see us take advantage of that really quickly. But I don't know. That just didn't sit right with me for a Tunic run on the big stage on the first run. So, audience, can y'all help me out for a minute? Can we do that? Okay, that's a yes, I think. Can you reach under your chairs and find a manual page during this run? Can you do that for me? So we discovered something that the developers didn't even know. Deep in the secrets of Tunic, there actually is a page that describes the speedrun tech. We can't read it. We don't know exactly how it relates to what we've discovered as runners, but we invite you to follow along. If you didn't find a page under your chair, please share your wisdom with the neighbor. And for those at home, if you want to partake in this this page finding experience, please go to tunic.run/GDQ. That's tunic.run/GDQ, and you can get a digital version of the page for yourself.
Wow. This is crazy. Okay,
hey, we found it. I don't know where it came from. I can't read it, so.
Oh, man.
So before we get started, this game is 10 to 15 hours casually compressed down to, 30 minutes? So we're going to be moving fast. We're going to try our best to explain everything, but most of all, we're just going to have fun. So that's all I got. Fellas, you ready?
I don't think I'm ready, but we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Well, that makes 3 of us. So.
From 10, right?
Yes. GDQ, I can't believe I'm going to do this as somebody who just a few years ago thought they'd never speedrun ever to being here. I need some help. Can we start a countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Good luck, Rad.
Silent, I have a quick question. Why did the fox cross the playground?
Oh boy. Why did the fox cross the playground?
To get to the other slide.
Oh my gosh. Anyways.
No, so that's knowledge, right? Like, we're learning. We already have a lot of that knowledge, like I mentioned in Tunic. And we're going to take advantage of that really quickly if my poor hands will stop shaking. Okay, we'll try one more time here. We got to wait 2 seconds between code inputs. All right, there we go. Let's go. So just like any other player, we're going to start with the stick. Silent, why are we starting with the stick?
You'll see pretty soon why we're starting with the stick. We're not really using it for its intended purpose as a combat weapon because it's kind of weak and it doesn't do that much damage, but that free bomb that he got, that he spawned out of thin air, we're going to use that on these bushes. It's a little bit of a sequence break of us skipping the sword for now, but we're going to take a slight detour to pick up some berries. These are going to let us refill our magic later on in the run. They'll be very useful, but right away you're going to see what the stick's intended purpose actually is in the run, and it's for a glitch called ladder storage. If he swings the stick and climbs on the ladder at the same time, he can roll out of the climbing animation
Oh, we got it. Let's go.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Great job.
So that lets him regain control of the fox while he's technically still on a ladder, so things like gravity and collision don't apply, and we can just run through midair. And that's going to let us give access to the Ruined Atoll area pretty early. You'll notice that he has to save and quit when he goes through a load zone because the game still thinks he's on like an invisible ladder, so he can't actually move, but if we just reset the area, it puts us back to normal.
I think Dicey said ladders were a mistake, and I tend to agree. So I'm going to try this really simple time save, and it's going to just meme me the entire time. It's a little ledge clip that is kind of precise to set up, and you can imagine there's,
Whoa, really?
And then this ladder is just going to lift itself into the air, and we're just going to wash our paws real quick. So this is actually the only deviation we'll take from the PB route, or at least, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we need to get a couple extra ice bombs just for some consistency later in the run. So now that ladder is lifted into place, we're actually going to do ladder storage off of it and walk into Dark Tomb. I'm going to lift my elevation here just a little bit. Even though gravity's turned off, we can use geometry to push ourselves up, and we need to do that to be able to get into the load zone for Frog's domain. Now, as we're descending into the land of the Forg, Joe, do we have any donations?
Absolutely. I've got you covered, Rad. There is a lot of love coming in for you. We've got a $25 donation from iBunWest that says, had to make sure I donated during Rad's run. So awesome to see you on the big stage. You got this, buddy. We've also got a $50 donation from The Way Mutt that says, I love you, Radicoon. I know you're little, but you are super strong. Much love from The Way Mutt and the Bandit Brigade. Put my donation towards the Visit Beta World Incentive for Tunic, which we already met. Again, thank you so much for all of your generosity.
Frog's domain. That was Frog's domain.
Yeah. He's doing ladder storage off of this ladder at the entrance, and we can clip through the railings to get straight to the end of the dungeon and then take damage from the enemy and fall and pick up the item.
The mid-air AoE is so sick. I love that.
I'm very glad it works. So the first time you die, you get warped to Resurrection, but if you have a bomb equipped already, you can just throw it and warp out of Resurrection. You can't access your menu, but if you have it equipped when you go in, then you're good to go. Just a little sleight of hand. Sly? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, go ahead, Silent.
Anyway, we're back in Ruined Atoll. We saved there to set our spawn point for a couple of death warps later on. He's going to do another ladder storage to let us skip straight to West Garden. We're going to be skipping about 2 side dungeons to get there.
Oh, man.
And he's gonna carefully maneuver past this turret so that it will shoot us out of ladder storage when we get to this little ledge here. It's very convenient because we have to be able to go down the stairs to get to that load zone, but also it gives us some damage to set up for the upcoming death. Now, we're in West Garden. We're coming here for 2 items. The first of which is a sword. Kevin, do you want to maybe talk about the sword?
We need a weapon that's like not just for messing with ladders. So if you play the game casually, you might stumble upon this sword quite late in the game and be confused, like why I've had a sword for like 20 hours already. We put this little thing in the game for speedrunners specifically. So here we go. We assumed you get here soon at some point, right? So worked out in the end.
Yeah, and I don't think you intended us to get it quite that quickly.
No, this is crazy so far. What the heck?
All right, fellas. Okay. All right, that's Terry. Terry's our buddy. In No Major Glitches, we used to dump him into the water really quickly. But in this run, we get a little bite. We get a little nibble. We're just going to be running through West Garden and pick up the magic ice dagger. Joe, I think we got some time.
Absolutely. You got a crew that is showing up just like Terry. We've got $25 from Infinity Fire that says, I can't think of a better game to kick off GDQ than Tunic. Good luck with the run, Radicoon. Let's have a great marathon, and thank you. We are doing such a great job getting everything going. Thank you so much, everyone, for the donations. We've got a $75 donation from Cannon Swift that says, this is the 8th beginning of a show I am seeing at GDQ, and Tunic is the first game? I just beat this game and was curious about the speed run. Amazing that GDQ encourages speedrunning in a wholesome way. Also, seeing the beta world? What?
All right, so we're back in Atoll again. This looks a little deja vu. There's plenty of times where I've been doing PB attempts and been like, wait, what split am I on? But it's fine. This time, we're going to open this chest that is really expertly guarded by this Rudling and get this piggy bank called an effigy that the manual describes as every betrayal being sweeter than the last. And if you haven't played the game, I'll let you figure that out. But we're not going to use it for monetary gain at all. We're actually going to use it because it triggers a little animation of its own, which we're going to use to cancel some other stuff. So first, we're going to take a quick detour to the Dark Tomb. We actually skipped all of the Under the Well and Dark Tomb earlier, but we do need an important item in here, and I'll let Silent describe that for me.
Yeah, so we're coming here for an item called the Orange Peril Ring. It'll let us do double damage, double poise, knockback when we have critical health. You see he did another ladder storage, even if it wasn't quite apparent. But he gained some elevation off of a skull near the entrance. It's going to let him run over these spike traps that are all over the hallway, which again, you can't see because it's very dark. But he's going to do some careful movement to run up a staircase. Normally, you've got to solve a puzzle to get to this chest, but that's slow. So he can just open it out of ladder storage, and then we'll be on our way.
So cool. Very good.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward because you have to run. You have to hold run there to stay in ladder storage, but then you have to mash run to pick up the item. So you have to proc a sword swing in between. It's really tight timing. Okay, so we've got all the major items in the game now, or now we're going to transition into a bit of a boss rush. I'm going to ladder storage around this wall that nobody thought anybody could get through here. Yep. All right, thank you. And now I want to talk about why I have magic dandruff right now. So when this game launched, the combination of the wand and the dagger produced an ice bolt, okay? And it cost 1 mana, and so of course we get a lot of cheap freezes out of that. And then the developer told us, oh, I made a mistake. It's supposed to actually cost 4, and it's causing a lot of issues with the casual game, so we're gonna patch it, which destroyed the speedrun, right? Or it would have if they hadn't added a code that down patches the ice bolt in place for us from 4 to 1 mana with a 9 input code that lasts about 80 seconds. So shout outs to developer relations. It's attention to detail that I appreciate.
But I'm Chad.
Joe.
Can I have a pretty big dono to get out there. Everybody, we've got a $3,000 donation from Mott. Since there were 3 minor cases of cancer in my rather small workplace, a friendly reminder that for an early detection, you still have to get a screening. So don't push off that doctor's visit, everybody. Too long, like so many people do. So very true, Mott, and thank you so much for that amazing donation. Everyone, you're blowing the top off this start. This is a great start, everybody.
So what you just saw me do is grapple an enemy slightly off the path, freeze them with an ice bolt, and then grapple to them, pulling us out of bounds and skipping the entire quarry, which...
We knew about that one at least, okay?
Yeah. So I'm gonna use the effigy next, and we're gonna use a combination of the effigy and the ice bolt to skip this elevator. You're not gonna see it happen though, but I promise you, it's happening. The effigy is gonna start an animation, and then we're gonna use the velocity of the ice bolt to just clip us off the elevator.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
All right. One of my favorite things about this game is that when you do kind of advanced speed tech, it just kind of looks like it's a secret you haven't found in Tunic yet, which is just wonderful.
Yeah, that's what these are, exactly.
Yeah, Kevin, why don't you tell me about this upcoming
So we're in the upper ziggurat right now. We got to get through a tower and then to the lower ziggurat. The tower sequence is kind of like a narrative sequence. It's basically like a narrative autoscroller of sorts. Nothing really exciting happens there for the speed run. So we thought, for speedrunners, we'll throw in a little way to skip it entirely. So that came in the form of a portal that teleports us from the upper ziggurat to the lower ziggurat immediately, skipping that tower entirely. So the thing is, as developers, when you put things like this into the game, it's paramount that it impacts negatively 0 casual players. Like, no casual player can stumble upon this because it'll negatively impact their experience, right? So we did this by putting it way out of bounds where no one can reach it, and we're just good to go. We had a way to get there by like dying and falling off the map and stuff, but they just found a way faster and better method. So here we are.
Yeah, ladder storage is a little broken.
Oh yeah. So now we're in lower ziggurat. He opened that chest to get some extra bombs. Will be used for some death warps later on, but we're going to use the effigy once again, not for its intended purpose, but for a glitch called wrong warping. If you use the effigy on the same frame that you hit a load zone, it will transfer our position from the previous room going into the next room. If he gets it right, it'll let us skip all the way past all of the enemies and the mini-boss straight to the actual boss of this area. But it is frame perfect. This game is right at 120 hertz, so it might take a couple tries. You'll see.
A couple.
Yeah. If he gets it too early, you'll see him pull the effigy out and start the animation. If he does it too late, he'll just go through the load zone normally. But if he gets it just right...
Expect this to take a while.
Yeah.
This is, like, I wouldn't say it's RNG, but it's pretty close.
It feels like it sometimes.
Guess how many runs died to this trick?
Rad, can I sneak in a donation?
Absolutely.
All right, we have I think one that everyone's really going to want to get, especially from the couch. We've got here a $500 donation from Becca and Adam that says, it was a joy to work on this game, and it is a joy to watch speedruns of it. Thank you for being so awesome.
Becca and Adam at Finji. Thanks so much.
The Weasel Gang. I don't think that's what they're called, but that's fine. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Great job.
I love that it just works.
This is the only room in the game that we found it to actually be useful, and it spawns us perfectly past everything. And this was historically one of the most annoying rooms in the entire speedrun.
Yeah,
So big spoilers here. This Sly-Fi reveal is rather haunting in the casual game, but I think we have some time, Joe.
Absolutely, I've got you covered as always. We have a $50 donation from Vox and Tehran that says, thanks to Rad for helping such a great cause and showing us how fast we can make a fox go. We've also got a $20 donation from Mosi that says, Tunic is one of my favorite games. I loved playing it with my wife and uncover the big mystery. All the love to Andrew for making this amazing game. Do we have time for one more?
Sure.
We got a $50 donation from JD Puppy. Let's go, Radicoon! It's been so awesome having you in the Fastest First community. Let's get Beta World incentive met, which we already did, JD, you know. And congratulations on the GDQ run. You've got this.
So that was Boss Scavenger.
That was faster than usual.
Yeah.
That's like faster than my strat pre-release.
Yeah, so apparently, so the game has protection so that you can't orb her out of bounds, right? However, we've discovered recently that if you refreeze as she's thawing, that the game's protection no longer applies. So I'm sure everybody had no troubles with that boss, right? That's how everybody did, I think, yeah. All right, Silent, why are we back in Atoll? What are we actually doing here for real now?
So the thing that we skipped at the start of the game was the 4 pillars in each corner of the atoll that we have to actually activate to get to the next area. This area is full of just kind of clean movement with ladder storage and ice grappling. The first fuse he went to, he kind of ice grappled up to that frog to skip like going all the way around and going up the normal way. This fuse, he did some ladder storaging, and he actually ran up and bounced a fire beam off of the fuse so that he would take damage and cancel himself out of ladder storage. And then the rest of this area is basically just him ice grappling and doing more of the same. He's going to stop here for a moment to take some damage from this crab to set up for the upcoming death warp. And you saw that when he was actually taking damage, he opened the menu to kind of move his cursor around and equip some items. A lot of the route is centered around when we can have a little bit of time to kind of quick swap items or move the cursor around to set up for when we have to equip the next item. We always take whatever opportunity we have to do that. But he's moving towards the 4th fuse now, and it's essentially just going to be more of the same. He's going to do another fire beam to cancel out of ladder storage here. Hopefully the fairies don't give him too much issue, but luckily we can just shoot them while he's actually activating.
Okay, hello? All right, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, that whole like bouncing off the fuse thing, you have to hold run the entire time you're doing that. So between the keyboard inputs and the controller, you know, it can be interesting. Just in the name of safety, I'm gonna go ahead and take our crab friends out here. I got a little bit too much damage there. Normally we would damage down on those crabs during this animation of the teleporter opening. We'll just play it a little safe. All right. So shout outs to one of the best songs in the game that you get to hear for approximately 6 seconds. And this scene is over. All right. Now I'm gonna need some quiet time here because we're in a library. Joe?
I thought we were on quiet time. I'm sorry, Rad. We got a $50 donation from Melody Bird that says, excited to see Tunic kick off this incredible week. Hug that plushie. We've also got a $50 donation from Dante Wolf that says, good luck, Rad, and kick this GDQ off with a bang. And then we've got a $1,000 donation from Andrew Schuldis that says, Tunic, hi, Rad. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Silent. Hi, Terry. What a magical moment. Good luck on the run. And here's to a great GDQ, everyone. Let's get that Beta World visit, which we've already met. Really quickly, our next open incentive is that reverse boss order incentive for Donkey Kong Country. We're already only 2,000 away from that incentive. Let's make it happen and unlock even more GDQ.
So that was the librarian.
That's the most ridiculous strat.
Yeah, we need noise.
it's
What
great.
are you gonna
It's
do?
great.
Like, he's only got one job.
Just Super Ball, Ice Flask, bounce that thing from height.
Yeah, we call that trick basket bomb. If you ladder storage off the top ladder and run around, you can just like perfectly line up an ice bomb so that it'll bounce high enough to actually get the attention of the boss. In the time that he throws the bomb, it sends him back to the ladder, and we can kind of climb below the death plane so that the boss tries to attack us, and he gets wiped out. So pretty textbook fight, I would say.
Yeah, we did design a quick kill. It wasn't that one.
Textbook. Yeah, I heard it. Silent, I got one for you. What kind of phone does the Fox have?
A sly phone.
Wow, you didn't have to think about that one for long. No, he's got a Nokia.
Okay.
That's the same reason he can't get in the old house there. Nokia.
Okay.
But I'm Ja.
Okay, so we're resetting our save and quit point to the middle of the overworld. We're going to do this ridiculous skip over the shortcut that only saves a couple seconds, and then we're going to get some damage from these blobs, which scare me because, you know, they can kill you pretty quickly. But we're going to both damage down and proc the orange peril ring that we gathered from Dark Tomb earlier. Normally, you're supposed to go through the dark cave, fight some spiders, wind your way through this forest fortress, but we have Ice Bolt, so we'll just cross the moat. And if we don't get memed by these pots, we'll use a friend here. Oh, okay, almost. So just clip through this door, and we're good. So that's, we're into the third boss fight now.
Yeah, those pots have ruined many runs because they can just kind of get in the way and mess you up. But now we're in the siege engine fight. Unlike the previous two bosses, we're not actually going to be abusing any death planes or glitches, really. That orange peril ring that we picked up earlier, the reason we damaged down on those blobs was to get ourselves to critical health. We can just kind of sneak around the boss who's weak spot, and then we do so much damage that we just give it an infinite stun lock. So.
And worth mentioning, too, is that clip to the door, we knew about that. And Andrew actually asked me, he's like, do we need to like design the door to open if they're through it without opening it? I was like, no. They can live with their choices. If they clip through this thing, they're stuck back there. It's fine. They'll have a way out. It's fine.
And that's the siege engine.
Quick.
I'm a good gamer, but I won't let it go to my head. You'll see in a minute. Don't worry about it. Joe, we've got some time.
Absolutely. We've got a $100 donation from Doog that says, giving what I can. So glad this event exists. And everybody, no donation is too big nor too small. Whether if you put a name on it in a message or if you do it anonymously, every dollar helps for an amazing cause that is the Prevent Cancer Foundation. We've also got a $25 donation from Mikari that says, love Tunic so much. Awesome to see it on GDQ.
All right, we've got 3 keys. Oh, that
Almost
almost
close.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
So close.
But, you know, we haven't rung the bells. Those that have played Tunic would know that we can't get in the sealed temple without ringing the bells. Sen's Fortress is not open yet, but we do have Blobby. That was a Dark Souls joke. I'm just checking. Okay, so here's our blob friend. He's going to damage us down, and then we're going to freeze him, and, you know the drill. Yeah, so all sealed forever, not quite. What was that? Anyway, so I got to drop these keys off now, but the Ice Bolt actually lets us like cancel out of these scenes. So we can just put all 3 keys in at the same time. And then Death Ward back to the overworld. That saves like a minute. So Ice Bolt kind of broken. We used to call it Ice Rod Cancel because, you know. Anyway, Death Ward being over, I got to hide the evidence. And now is probably the scariest part of the run, which is super cool that it's like the end of the run. I'm going to let Silent take over here.
Yeah, so we're heading to the final boss. He cleared some of those bushes out to get back to this teleporter without any of the enemies noticing us, but heading into the boss itself, he's going to try to do a frame-perfect cutscene skip, which will save about 20 seconds if he gets it. If he pauses in front of the boss and then quits to menu and then presses a frame later, he can actually talk to the boss. And let's go, he got it.
Let's go.
Normally there's like a 20-second cutscene that plays and you gotta wait for it, but he skipped it entirely. He did intentionally take damage to get back down to that orange power ring critical health range. And as for the boss itself, we're just using the Ice Bolt to kind of keep the boss frozen. It's not quite as easy as it looks because he does have to keep an eye on his magic. He has to carefully equip to those berries that we picked up at the start of the run to refill that magic, and then quickly equip back to the sword. The boss only stays frozen for a couple seconds each time, so he only has a little bit of time to do those inputs. So it can be a little bit tricky. But going into phase 2, it looks like should be pretty good, I think. He's got 1 berry left.
Why did you say that? Why did you say it was going to be good?
It'll be fine. Nothing can go wrong.
There's a phase 2.
Oh, no.
I'm going to get a couple quick hits in and then start the combo over. I need to eat 1 more berry, and we should be good. The sounds in this phase are very scary. Have to wait a second to refreeze, or she'll actually break out. Silent, I have a question.
Yeah.
What is this fox's favorite herb?
Let me see. Oregano?
No. It's time.
GG.
Oh.
Wow.
Awesome job, Rad.
Now this is, of course, our in-game time. This little like summary screen at the end and the timing is all a collaboration that came with working with the developers and Andrew to kind of assist the speedrun community. So shout outs to Dicey. It's been wonderful working with you to like just the little creature comforts for the speedrun community in this game. Thank you so much to Silent and Kevin for the awesome commentary. Thank you to Skippy on the back couch for support for this run. Thank you to Jim and Keatske for helping review the page that we've distributed. You have no idea how long it took us to translate all that stuff. Probably more time than I've been practicing this. Let's see. Thank you to the Tunic speedrunning community, specifically for always being very kind and welcoming to new runners. I'm particularly proud of that. Thank you to Fastest Furs for accepting my Tunic any % run like a couple months after this game came out when I didn't know what I was doing. And it gave me a lot of self-confidence. I super appreciate it. Thank you to Tunic Team for what an amazing game. One of my favorite games of all time. Specifically, I want to shout out Felix Kramer, an unsung hero of the team that made sure it was in front of the right people at the right time and got it on a firm foundation very early in its life to be the fantastic game that we play today. We honor them with this dress and the buttons based on an outfit they put together for PAX West 2016 when the game was still called Secret Legend. So thank you, Felix. And I think thank you, GDQ, for accepting me. I attended AGDQ 2020 in person as an Orlando local. I did not speedrun. I did not stream. I did not know anybody that streamed or speedrun. I just knew GDQ, and I looked forward to those 2 weeks a year like it was Gamer Christmas or something. I don't know. It was also always a great time. And just the fact that that I'm here now, just a few years later after finding one of my favorite games of all time and just chasing that passion through the speedrun community, just thank you so much. It's like honestly what I thought was an impossible dream come true, so thank you. And I do want to say thank you for another thing, GDQ, is that thanks for accepting runners like me. I was 8th on the leaderboard when this game was accepted. Now, I've grinded it up to 3rd, but I am not a world record chaser. That's not that interesting to me. I just love speedrunning because it's fun, and I have games that I like to speedrun because they are fun. And I think it's important to point out that you don't have to be good at something to enjoy it. You can speedrun for world record. You could speedrun for a target time that you want to try to hit and then reevaluate when you hit it. You could speedrun just once to say, hey, I know how to speedrun Tunic, and submit the worst time on the leaderboard, and you're all equally valid. So if you haven't tried speedrunning and you have a passing interest in it, I encourage you to try it. It may take you a while to find a game that you enjoy both the game and the speedrun for, but I think you'll be surprised how quickly you can pick it up. It should not be as intimidating as it looks. Take it from me as someone who thought it was, that you can do it. I think it's all a good activity. And you don't have to be a runner. You could be a verifier. You could be a mod. You could build tools. You could find strats. There's so many ways to collaborate and cooperate with the community of people that love this game with you. And yeah, I'm at a loss for words. Okay, run Tunic. You should run Tunic. This game is great. We have 5 categories from any % to 100%. We have We have rule sets for glitches. We have rule sets for glitchless, or even we even have a category that doesn't allow the ice bolt or ice grapple, so that the routing is a little bit more like the casual game. We do also have a 3-minute category that teaches new runners that have never speedrun before, like the ropes of just like how to use live split, how to use OBS and stuff. So we've got something for everybody. Like I said, the community is super welcoming, and we'd love to have you. Silent Kevin, take it from me, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Time for incentive.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was going to say, Rad, you've still got some more time on the big stage, my friend. You've got the incentive that everyone helped unlock. And everybody, we are over $20,000 already.
Crazy. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So I'm going to retry real quick to get back to load a game. I think whoever rented this from Blockbuster before me left like a completed save, and I don't know where they saved at. I mean, obviously this wasn't in the speed run. So, Kevin, can you talk about a little bit about what we're about to do here?
Yeah, this is a little glitched file that if you play the game casually, you might stumble across at some point. During development, I realized that through these free item spells that we award, you can find through the manual, one of them damages the fox in a room that otherwise they cannot be damaged. And I was like, what happens if you die in here? So I tried dying, and the game crashed, because it was like, oh, you're dead. Go back to the last save point you were at in this save file. This save file has no save points. There's never any spawn points. So the game's like, I don't know, crash. So I asked Andrew, what do we do? And we brainstormed a whole lot of ideas and ended up landing on pulling in a very, very old build of then Secret Legend to show you what the game once looked like, kinda. It was also pretty janky because we didn't have like the stuff in Unity currently to make enemies operate correctly and stuff, but we have the geometry and the world look at least. There was no music, there were very few sounds. This is what it was like in, say, 2015, 16, something like that. A long time ago. Although during that conversation, we were brainstorming a whole lot of ideas as far as what could happen when you die. One of them, notably, is we thought maybe you could reincarnate as the shopkeeper.
I have not heard this.
Yeah, we imagined a cinematic where perhaps it just fades in and there is a shopkeeper in a shop and you see a fox run in, buy something, and leave, and you're just stuck in that room until you leave the game. So that was one idea, but we ended up here instead, and I hope, I mean, everyone, it was so fun watching folks on Twitch and so forth stumble upon this for the very first time and be like, oh my God. In fact, we even changed up the cipher over time, so this cipher has like typos and stuff, and it doesn't work like it now does. This is a very true look into kind of what once was. So thank you everyone so much for hitting this incentive. I can't tell you how stoked I am personally to be here doing commentary on the very first run on the big stage. I mean, Power Up Audio, as some of you at home and here in the room might know, we're involved in SGDQ for 5 years doing audio on site, but this is next level. This is crazy. So what a run. Thank you so much, Radicoon. Amazing. Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you for the explanation, Kevin. Anyway, thanks again, GDQ. Thank you to staff. You're all awesome. You have no idea how much people rehearse and work behind the scenes to make this happen. Just thank you for all you do, and thank you for having me.